All right, all right, fine. I'll be a gracious host. How you doing?
Little Mermaid is the scariest Disney movie by far, though.
Why the hell is Ace Blade in your Kickstarter?
Some comics. I'm getting controversial today. We're gonna get controversial today with
my proudest moment is this interview and being able to talk to you two.
Doom, 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 doom. Kyron, we can't hear you.
I know. I just realized that too. I got into it. I was going good too.
Now you gotta start it back over. Now you gotta do it again.
And I won't mess up now because I all right. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions proudly brings to you the Four Tales Podcast. I'm your host, Kyron Silva of Taurus Comics. Across the way is the Mulberry writer of Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick. And together we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and a host of other programs. So if you're listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews and interactions help us reach a bigger audience. I didn't screw that up as much as I thought I was going to.
You did great, man. You always do good, man.
Except for when I forget to unmute my mic, but whatever.
Exactly. There's always a little hiccup, but that's okay.
All right, so what's going on, man? How you been?
Man, I've been busy, but I'm glad it's Saturday and I'm glad it's a 3-day weekend. And I don't have to go back to work till Tuesday. How you been, man?
It's a 3-day weekend?
3-day weekend, yeah. Memorial Day is Monday, sir.
I don't know what the holidays are anymore. That's what
right. You artists, bro. Y'all get on my nerves, bro.
Okay, wait. This is not just
ridiculous.
Go ahead.
Y'all don't need to know when the holidays are. Y'all set your own schedules. You get to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Set your own prices. Set your own deadlines. Y'all just freedom.
Okay, this is more of my kids are out of school, so I don't pay attention to the calendar than me being an artist. When my kids are in school, I pay attention to the calendar. They send me notifications when there's holidays and days off. That's the only thing I care about. Now that they're out of school since Thursday, I don't look at the calendar until it's first day of school.
Not, assemblies, not, graduation, none of that, just days off. Okay,
graduations. Graduations I look forward to. But all I care about is what holidays you guys got. That's all. What days are you going to be home from school? So I need to know I have extra food in house and have extra chores for you to do. That's all I care about.
Right. Washing dishes.
Yep. No, they wash them dishes every day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I got my boys trained.
Hey, I'm still working. I'm still working on my 4.
I see that all the time.
Actually, in the studio while I'm trying to work.
All he wanted was a pencil. He asked you for a pencil, and you were like, "Be gone, peasants!"
Kyron, I got a whole art studio. There's a whole art studio here. He did not need a pencil. He came in here to manipulate me for something. He was trying to get something from me, and he was using the pencil to get to what he really wanted. I know my kids.
What he really wanted was to be on the show so he could become famous. Kids attract audiences.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right. Anyways, enough about our family, because anybody that's listening to our podcast is not here to listen to us talk about our kids. I mean, that's a different podcast all in itself that we probably could do.
For sure.
Black fathers talking about their kids podcast. I don't know. What you are here for is an amazing writer and illustrator, a fantastic person to talk to, and someone who, from we were listening to, beat death twice already. She said F you to death. So let's bring on the one, the only, Christie Shinn.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. As you heard, we don't really have any agendas. We just want to know what's up with you. How you been? What are you doing? What's going
I'm
on?
fucking tired after this month, to be honest. Like, I finished up you probably saw my Kickstarter. Finished that. Then I'm dealing with aspects of fulfilling it. Now, fulfilling it itself is not bad, but when you have to deal with the printer, even though your book's 100% ready to go, they're going to come back and be like, oh, fucking, you need to change this and you need to change that. And nothing pisses me off more is that they don't give me a whole list of stuff that I can just take care of right away. It's like, yeah, here's a list. Okay, I took care of it. Oh, here's more. Here's more. Here's more. And I'm like, nothing makes me that pissed. Oh, hey, what's up, guys? But that part of the thing, like, looking at the proofs for the merchandise and all that, that's the part that's kind of, it's not hard. It's just you have to wait on other people. And sometimes that's a pain. And I've been elected president of CAPS, Coming Art Professional Society, in this February. So I'm also talking with some people, connecting some stuff with the organization to help our members. So essentially it's about sequential and non-sequential art. And in the day and age, we're also modernizing it, because in the day and age, we do help indies. But the thing is that before, in the old days, you had to be published. You had to have something syndicated or something. Now it's different. Like if you have up to 3 to 4 Kickstarters, I mean, you're pretty legit by the big companies. So, I mean, they watch you. So like right now I completed this is my 4th successful Kickstarter, and I finished at 7,720.
Congrats.
Thank you. That ended up earlier this month. Sorry, my black cat, you guys were talking about having kids. She gets into freaking everything. So, but yeah, she always wants to be. It's like, oh, she's crawling all over me like a 2-year-old.
And I told you beforehand we would see her butthole, and we did a couple times just now. So hey, there you go.
Oh, look, she looks offended now. But anyway, but yeah, so the thing is that, so I've been busy doing that. So fulfilling stuff and all that, getting stuff together, poured it into CAPS for our members, so that when Marvin's going to buttholes. Yeah. Like Marvin's going to be part of that conversation too. So it's just like, we're porting everything together, because what I found is that 2 things that creators run into is distribution and legal. You can hear a lot of sources and everything. So I'm talking about some legal stuff that we can port into the organization, some distribution stuff. So it makes it easier for people to do that. So I'm in process of doing that on the other side. And on top of that, I'm doing my other work, and I'm working on another project with another writer. So I'm a busy lady. And then I'm doing Asian Invasion today. I sent you the Facebook link if you guys want to check it out. If you're in the Manhattan Beach, Los Angeles area, and you're not too busy with Star Wars Celebration, come on by. It's a free event. You just stop by, get some comics, meet us creators and all that.
And the Asian Invasion, that starts today?
That is today from 11 to 4. It's just today. I'm feeling pretty wrecked today. So,
So what inspired you to actually start Asian Invasion?
Well, what it was is that, COVID, the West Coast, I don't know where you guys are from, but the West Coast, like, we shut down a lot of cons. We shut down, lockdown hard. But the thing is that, not as hard as Michigan, but it was pretty severe for a while. And then we started opening back up, but a few conventions canceled on the West Coast due to the Omicron variant. And people, like some of my friends, I mean, I didn't try to limit to just Asian people. That's not what it was. It just came out from this idea. But some of my friends were just fucking disappointed. They wanted to go, but it cuts into your money, because a lot of conventions, as as a comic creator and everything, you don't get the online sales. Oh, this is now, yeah. With online sales, it's fine and it's great if you're big enough, but it sucks because it's like you get most of your money through conventions, and that's where you get a lot of your fans. You can do the mailing list, but you have to get out there.
Yeah.
And I felt really sad because they looked dispirited, like they were upset. I'm like, man, this canceled last minute. So I said, okay, fuck it. Why don't I make something? So I kind of got inspired. This is how my inspirations are. So this is the mind of me. I was watching Nobody, and it has Steve Odenkirk. I think that's his name. Better Call Saul. I'm shitty with names lately. And he had the scene in Nobody where he gets into a shootout with a Russian mafia, and they're playing Pat Benatar's Heartbreaker. So I was thinking of that 80s shit, with the Uzis and the explosions. And then I did Asian Invasion with a skull thing right here. And I thought it was just kind of funny because that was supposed to be me. Then I said, well, why don't I go a step further and just fuck with people? And then I'll just do Asian Invasion, Yellow Peril, and put it up there. That got one of the posts got taken down by Instagram because they thought I was being racist, which was hilarious. I was like, I know I'm an idiot. But anyway, so I put that up there. and I had like about 10 creators, and I talked to Jun Goku of the Comic Bug. Like, how are they going to give him shit? He's Japanese. So I thought it would be a good way to troll, but to put up an interesting event, and I just did it. And my friends were really happy. I mean, maybe they didn't make as much as they did at like the big conventions, but it was just something. I think Portland checked. I'm trying to remember which ones canceled last minute at the beginning of the year, but they were really like it brought up their spirits, so it was good. And so June asked me, "Hey, this was great. Can we do this again?" And so we did it today.
I love it. Me and Kyron always have this. Well, me and Kyron in the community, we always have this conversation about big cons versus smaller, more intimate cons, and which one is more or which one can be more help for smaller creators and and things like that. And I love more kind of specialized events like that where you know that the people who are coming are looking for exactly what you have, and you don't have to compete with Stan Lee being there or something like that. And those events are good too, but for people at my level, I know Kyron doesn't have to worry about that because he's an international bestseller. So
I am. Thank you.
but for people at my level, those things like that are a little are a little better for
Yeah.
me. So I love having the wide range of you know small shows, and then medium level shows that you can go to and meet fans who come from other states, and then the huge shows for people who want to come meet their favorite voice actor or whatever, and then they just happen to run into you also. So that's great.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I think they just never met anybody that swore as much as me either.
Well, that's good because that's a relatable thing. You meet somebody who really speaks your same dialogue, and that's great.
I think Russell Notley said that he swears a lot just because it grabs somebody's attention. Just the idea, especially at an event like a con where you just randomly see this guy just curse, it makes you focus on them. Is that probably one of the reasons why you do it too, or is it just natural?
Well, I just naturally have a foul mouth, but it's funny. I've been told that I do this thing called like I swear without sounding vulgar. So like if I'm swearing, I'm not saying the word fuck just to say fuck, just to get anybody's attention. So it's just sort of like when I say fucking this and fucking that, I'm emphasizing certain things. I never really analyzed it, but sometimes like when especially I get annoyed about something, it's not like I'm saying a bunch of shit just to say it. I think it's like even when I pick swear words, it's sort of like it drives it home specifically what I want. Like I don't like people babbling for the sake of babbling. It annoys the shit out of me. And to be honest, like with some of the life things that I've dealt with, some people just say shit just to. It's like one of my friends once said, "People listen to talk; they don't really listen to listen." So that's why people give such shitty advice. Like sometimes people say, "Oh, you should just get over this and everything," like I did, and it's like you're not fucking over it. Why are you giving me fucking advice that you're miserable following and doesn't do shit for you? Like as I get older, I get more fucking annoyed with that shit. It's like, all right, whatever, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm not talking about like doing something stupid like harassing somebody. I'm just saying like, no, I'm mad about this, and I want to do something constructive with this. And it's not just drawing; it's just like there's ways to resolve things. And sometimes I wonder, like, if the bigger problems of today is like we minimize shit like that. Like, okay, well, we're gonna jump on somebody that says something different. Oh, you're a terrible person or whatever. But if somebody's like on there, like deliberately doing fucked up shit to people, it's like, oh yeah, well, they're just being stupid. They're just being assholes. It's like I can understand that to a point, but if they're actually causing actual injury, and it doesn't necessarily always have to be physical.
Yep.
No, it's not okay. Like I've had to deal with people like that, and I don't really like talking to people about it because it's like that's really what a lot of people do. It's like, oh, well, they're just being stupid. I'm like, no, it's not just about being stupid. And especially if they've had a repeated history of doing things like that, it's like, oh, fuck no, I'm not dealing with that anymore. I'm going to deal with it where they don't bother me ever again. And it sucks because it's like, I kind of see how some things escalate in our society.
Yeah.
Because people really minimize that shit. It sucks.
Yeah, they do. I don't know if you know who Gary Vee is, but he curses a lot in his content. He's one of those motivational influencer type guys on the internet. And he, one thing that he said that made a lot of sense to me is just like you just said, if this is how I feel, I'm saying the things that I feel. So I shouldn't have to sugarcoat the way that I talk to people because, you know, especially if my intent is not to hurt anybody, I'm just saying what I, these are the words that are coming with the what I'm trying to say. So I don't think, I don't curse a lot, and I know, Kyron doesn't curse a lot on air. If you
On
catch
air, I
him,
do not curse a lot. At
yeah, if you
home, without my kids,
you
yeah,
catch him,
it's on.
catch him at home, when the cameras when the cameras off, that's different. But it's not something that's ever really bothered me. And unless, like you said, there are people who are saying things that are intentionally harmful, to people, and you can always tell the difference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, it's like sometimes, yeah, people talk shit, but sometimes, like, if you've been through enough or been through a certain situation, like, you can tell if it's escalating, like when you're past all the trauma responses, but you're like, I know this is going to escalate. I need to nip this in the bud now. But I mean, I've always advocated do it legally, do it professionally. Don't be stupid and egg their house. Okay. Like, don't do stupid shit like that. Like, you just, there's ways to effectively deal it. But then also, like, another thing too is that, hey, what's up, Melee? Or Molly, sorry, my eyeballs are like going out. But yeah, I mean, it's just like you just have to handle it that way. And is this Kenji? Is that Kenji? Your book? Who is he talking to? Is it me or your
It's
guy?
your book, definitely.
Okay.
Your book is a very distinct style. If you could have another artist do it in another style, who would you pick? Or do you think it could be done in any other style? So,
I'll answer that question in a two-part. If I were to get another artist to do it, I'd probably ask Johnny Ryan to do it. But he probably, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Johnny Ryan.
I
He
am
did
not
Cricket
actually.
Pit. He did a goat, duck, banana, pig, cricket. He did the character
Mhm.
designs for those. He's really fucked up and gross. Just, if you have kids, do not have them look at it. But I say he could do Demon Bitch. My friend Lawrence Raw Dog Hubbard has actually done fan art of Demon Bitch. And it's actually funny because when I put her out there, she's a sausagey body. She looks like shit. It's a very pretty simple character design,
Mhm.
And it's funny, website to get her stuff. Oh, I probably should give you my link tree here.
We have it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good.
I
I
can
just
put the
didn't
link tree
know.
in.
Sometimes I didn't. If I go in this pattern, I've done so many shows. Like, it's like, oh shit, you need all the stuff, and I forgot to do that. But yeah, so my main link tree. Yeah, you get signed books from me. The books are kind of a little bit wonky because I get them printed through Amazon. So Amazon's largely okay, but sometimes they get off by a day or two. So I apologize about that. But going back, as for other fan art, it's funny. It's like she's got a simple body design and everything, but it's funny how people come at me with like different things. I'll make her have boobs. They once, like, one guy drew her and they made her all sexy. I've had more than one. I'm like, wow, it's like, that's better than how I could draw. I mean, I'm not saying I can't draw. It's just, I mean, if anybody looks at my Instagram, I can draw, but it's like I don't draw her like that. But it's so funny to watch that. It's
Mhm.
really funny.
I love having people draw, my characters and stuff like that. Just I'm not an artist myself, I'm a writer and graphic designer, and I do some coloring and some art, but it's not my daily thing. So I love seeing, other people's interpretations, but they never make Ace Blade sexy at all. That never happens.
Ace Blade's already sexy. We don't have to do that. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, he's got, Ace Blade's got a little swagger to him. So yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked at that. I was like going, like when I see that, it's like, sometimes I'll draw her different. Like, it's just kind of amazing how people come at me with different designs.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, of course, that's why it's like sometimes some people, like, they'll come up to me, or I've heard them like, well, I don't know if I'm an artist because I have a day job. I'm like,
You're an
and
artist. You're just not a full-time
sometimes
artist,
you
but
have
you're
a
an
day
artist.
job. Sometimes you have a great day job. Sometimes you have a shitty day job. Like, you do what you need to do to get it done.
Yeah.
They said, well, how'd you work up to it? I said, well, that just ended up happening. But it's like, if you have a day job, it's fucking okay. Like, doesn't make you any less anything of an artist or a writer. You got to live and you got to do what it is to make it work. Screw
Very
it,
true.
you know.
Very
Like,
true.
So
you've been doing this for a few years now. Is there something that, as you were younger, with starting off with this, you would have wished you have known as being a creator?
I think essentially really follow what you want to do. I know people kind of drill it into artists, and I'm pretty sure writers, but I'm going to speak from an artist. That's what I'm the most familiar with. Is that people will continuously tell you to be somebody else.
Yes,
they will as you're growing up and doing your niche. And I did admit I fell into that, and a couple of times. And if I were to look at my younger self, it would be like, don't devalue yourself. Number two, stick to your guns, because that's what I've noticed lately. It's like people, even if an overwhelming number of people tell me, yeah, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to be anything, or you should just leave it be. No, if I really feel that I need to do it, no. And guess what? They end up like saying, oh, you're great anyway. I mean, I'm not trying to say this just because, it's me, but that's just what I've learned. Sometimes people just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And you develop that sense for yourself. I mean, obviously, if a lot of people are telling you don't jump off a bridge, you might want to listen to them. For sure. But if you really feel that this is something you should do, then do it. Like, just go and focus on doing that. And there's going to be a way to find it. And even if you don't know all of it, it'll reveal itself. That's what I've learned. It's like, sometimes it's not you constantly doing something. It's just you going in that direction of, and things end up better. You just basically assume to yourself that it's going to come and work out somehow. That way, A, you don't get into micromanaging it, and B, if it seems to go south, at least you can tell yourself, like, you know what, this all works out for me somehow. So I'm going to figure this out, and you just keep doing the right thing.
Let's see. Mally said, I have a similar character like yours, Christy, but the only difference is that he's a little funny man in a Rocco's modern lifestyle.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I haven't seen that before, but yeah, I'll take a look at it.
I remember Rocco's Modern Life, but I don't remember it. Like, I know I've heard of it, but I don't think I remember even watching it.
He was just some fuck. It was like kind of an Australian thing. Like, he was based in I don't know if the guy was, it's himself, but the character was in Australia, so it was all fucking weird. Yeah. And he was just this kangaroo that worked in a comic shop. And I remember one of my friends telling me about one episode. I didn't watch this one, but when they were like, the elf woman is the most beautiful woman ever, and there's nothing, and no woman ever compares to the elf woman. And the other guy's looking at him like, gee, you're an idiot. Hilarious. I mean, it was just funny. I was just like going, like, just weird fucking dialogue like that. I think I like shit like that just because it just, I as I said, I'm not trying to say that people have to kind of make their dialogue intentionally weird to fascinate me. It's just that kind of people go into like the mumbler mode, like they just say stuff and they don't really think it through. Like, maybe this isn't something that really is smart to say. Or like, maybe this really hasn't been working for me. What, So, it's just one of those things, I guess.
Well, I think this might be a good time for us to actually go into the second half of our show, which is Danny's Quick Takes. Now, if you've never seen Danny's internet's messed up again, I don't know if we could do this. Are you all right over there?
I'm good. I'm in here.
Okay. You were frozen, so I just want to make sure.
I'm sorry. It happens.
All right. But at this point, we're going to do Danny's Quick Takes. If you've never seen our show before, Danny does a sort of rapid fire sequence where he has stalked your social media and he's going to ask you a few questions. And you'll get about 45 seconds to answer those questions. So let's go ahead and get into it.
All right. Quick Takes. I love it. I love the little animations every time, Kyron. You're getting better and better with that.
It's right. At this point, I just drag and drop different pictures in, dude. I don't have to do that much.
No, but at the beginning, you were missing it. Like, you would forget to do the animation, and then the timer would be wrong. But now you got it down, man. You're a true professional. Okay, Miss Christie Shinn. Yes. Like Kyron said, I've been stalking your social media, not in a bad way. But
it's in a bad way. It's a bad way.
I don't know if it can not be in a bad way. But I've been trying to find out more about you, and I just had some questions that I thought our fans would like to hear from you. So I see when you make comics, you make stuff that is angry, mean, and that makes people laugh.
Yes.
What do you think people come for the most? Do they come for the anger? Do they come for the meanness, or do they come for the laughs?
All three. Because we're taught that being angry makes you a psycho. And then mean, it's like, sometimes you just want to be mean to people. And I'm not saying go out and bully people, but sometimes people really piss you off that much. And you're like, no, fuck this bitch. So it's like, and then people laugh at it because they kind of feel that it's sort of forbidden. But how I put it down, they're like, fuck, I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Question number 2. So looking at some of your work, I see that you like to put your real feelings into your work. I've even heard you say that you put people that you hate into your comics, and and put them in certain situations. So to me, it's kind of like talking to a therapist. It's kind of working your feelings out and your emotions through your art. So what would you say is the better way to do it? Do you think art is a way to go through your emotions, or traditional therapy?
I mean, honestly, people can do one or the other or both. For me, I've done therapy. It's all right. I mean, I don't think it's really for me. But again, to each their own. And art, I think people they say, oh, well, you need to express yourself in art. No, I pour everything into my artwork in terms of rage and anger and pain and all that stuff. And if it's sometimes I just laugh like a little asshole doing it. So, either one or the other works for you. I mean, I can't give an umbrella answer. For me, it's art. But some people do need to have therapy to work out some dysfunctional shit in their head of how they think, thought patterns. I don't need to do that.
For sure. I feel the same way. I think art is a very powerful thing. It as we see, throughout the history of mankind, art has always been here. It's always been a way to communicate and to kind of work through thoughts that are in our brains that we can't properly communicate sometimes. So but traditional therapy absolutely works for some people. Okay. But it didn't work for Kyron though. Number 3. Uh what 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 do you we can't hear you, Kyron. You put yourself on mute again.
How did I get thrown into this?
Because this is what I do. You've been on the show long enough. I'm just gonna throw you into random stuff.
Man, I'm just gonna kick you off my show.
Okay, so I heard you talking about fan art a little bit earlier, so that kind of leads into my next question. Which of these two things is more important which is the more important way to support an artist or an intellectual property? Cosplay or fan art?
I think both are important. It depends on the character. Sometimes cosplay can be really hard, and sometimes fan art is easy to draw for people. To be honest, I haven't seen cosplay yet, but I've seen of my character, but I've seen fan art, and I'm really pretty happy with the fan art. So I think either one or the other is great. I mean, I think fan art may be easier for people to do because it's a piece of paper, whereas cosplay, it may take them, according to the character, how much X amount of time to do it. Like with Demon Bitch, you'd have to paint your whole body bone fucking white and put in these 2 pasties. And, how confident or not confident you are, that could determine it too. But the fan art, people can bust that out and put it up online and tell you, hey, I like your stuff.
Yeah.
Now I know what I'm going to wear for Halloween.
Hey.
I'm paint myself white and get some pasties and I'm good to go.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
You need to probably use freaking white out.
Okay. So the last question, last but not least, I've seen a couple of your lunch hours.
That's not a question 4.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. This is the 4th one. This is the 4th question. I've seen a couple of your lunch hours that you do. I think that's a great idea. But why is lunch hour not actually for lunch? Do you ever actually eat on lunch hour?
No. My stomach just hates me sometimes and goes like, no, bitch, I'm not eating right now. And the reason why I timed it is that people I knew when I worked a regular job, they would need like 15, 30 minutes to kind of settle in. And that's when they would open their phones and watch it. So it's just related.
That's absolutely true. That's a great time to break free and get on your phone for a little while, and I love it. So last but not least, do you think art can go too far? Can art go too far?
Oh, that's a big debate. I mean, honestly, sometimes when it goes too far, like you had Serrano's Piss Christ, everybody got fucking pissed about that, literally. I think it's the intent of the artwork, and I don't want to go and put that into. I think if you look at Whistler, he really got fucking based with his artwork. Like he drew people he hated and named them. So, with me, I make it a policy not to name people or put identifying marks. I just make it into the characters of how I feel. Because then, I feel that, give them an opportunity to change. But again, I think it's kind of like obscenity where a judge said, I'll know it when I see it.
Right. I think that's a fair observation. Like you were saying earlier, I think you can kind of see somebody's intent, especially if they have a history of it, especially, if you see something over and over again, that they're intending to be mean and harmful. And absolutely. So that was my quick takes. Thanks for answering those questions quickly. And I'll kick it back to Kyron.
All right.
All right. Well, that was Danny's quick takes. This week, we're going to say Danny's quick takes were brought to us by Mally Simpson's They Call Him Marvelous. Check out a couple pieces of They Call Him Marvelous in Antarctic Press Exciting Comics coming out soon. And, if you want to check out Exciting Comics issues 25, 26, 27, 28, you can see Saul the Lightning Wielder in there too. Not to self-promote anywhere.
Dude, this guy.
Hey, I got to self-promote somehow. I don't do it often, but I got to self-promote. All right. We do have a couple minutes because I know you're busy with getting ready for your event here, but was there anything else maybe that we didn't get to touch upon or you want to bring up or talk about?
Well, I have the book Triggered. That's coming up. You're welcome to ask questions of any of the books that you've read or just any of the pieces you happen to see that intrigue you. For me right now, it's just quiet fulfillment and just getting crap done and together. And, just in general, like that's just what I've been doing for the past month, and then going to an event every week. And I'm like, fuck,
Well, you did bring up Triggered. When do you anticipate that coming out? Or
well, right now, I finished with print files, but I have to kind of figure some things out with Amazon. But hopefully, that'll take the next few days. But I think it should be okay. Like, it should be on schedule. Generally, in books, it takes about 2 weeks to print, but you know how they were talking about shipping issues and it's all wonky and all over the place. Hopefully, it won't take that long, but it does take some time for the books to print. So hopefully in the next month, I should be able to send that out just as a generous thing. So, I haven't been in or screwed with as much of the paper shortages as some people may have. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's I'm working with the evil company Amazon. I don't know, but it just seems to be done quicker than a lot of other people because I've heard horror stories, and I refuse to print overseas because now, it hasn't been solved yet, but the shipping issues have been bad. Like some people have had their stuff held up for almost 5 to 6 months to almost a year. So I'm glad that I just print on demand and print domestically. That way it's just less of a problem. So if they do ground transport, it's not the perfect thing, but it'll be infinitely quicker than. I never was of this personal school. And again, I'm not dogging people, but I just I didn't think it would work for me if I printed a whole pallet of books from China, had them shipped in. They say, yeah, well, the cost is less. I said, but I'm going to have to put this shit in my house or in a storage facility, which I don't know what's going on. At least like people print on demand, like is technically a bit higher per unit, but people tend to get a fresher book. Mm-hmm. And Amazon's quality is really good. I'm testing out and Triggered for this Kickstarter, the hardcover version as well, which you can pick up for $10 more. So right now I'm taking pre-orders on my website through the Square Up link. That's where you get my signed artwork and books and things, because if you order directly through Amazon, I cannot do that, because I can't sign it. And it would cost a lot more shipping to have it shipped to me than shipped to the person. If I sign it, I have to charge a lot more money. But at least if I have the books on hand, like if I print up a bunch, or to take to cons and stuff, that's a little different. Right. And you can just get it from me at a con, or I'll just sign it and send it to you.
Love it. All right. Well, I think then that's everything for today's show. Unless, Danny, do you have any other question?
I'm good to go.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Chrissy, we do appreciate you being on. This has been a fun day. I knew we threw in your link tree, but was there any other website that you wanted us to maybe talk about that people can go and look at your work, your Instagram, your social media, or anything like that that's not on Linktree?
I mean, I have Horror Tourist Studios, and also I've linked to Demon Bitch and Demon Bitch Official on my Instagram. And let's see, I am Demon Bitch, and then Demon Bitch Official on my Twitter and Instagram. They should be interlinked with those. But it's actually been pretty good overall. So that's just where to get me. And on my website, that's also in my link tree. On the top, it's all my social media, so you can follow me through all those. Like there's my Patreon and everything. So essentially, everything should be in that link tree. If you want to order apparel that I've designed, you can go on Teespring and or Spring now they call it, and get those done and get that shipped to you. That's also print on demand as well. I think I did one for Pride where it was like the ocean is gay because it's full of rainbows. I mean, the thing is, what I've always hated is like sometimes with months that commemorate someone or group or something, they kind of go at it a standard way. And I said, no, fuck this. Let's just make this interesting. Like for Pride, I myself am not gay, but for Pride, it's like, they had all the love is love shit. I'm like, oh, this is stupid. So I went and actually found like a t-shirt that said be gay and do crimes with a dagger through the skull. I said, yeah, fuck that. Yeah. So, I mean, but I wore it for Pride one time and people thought it was great. So, but it's just like, as I said, it's just like, if it's anything interesting, I do it, So for me, I mean, as I said, just basically buy my shit. There's the pre-order because I actually have a category called pre-order on my Square Up site. So you can actually pre-order it. I do have to fulfill the Kickstarter guys first. So I'm going back and forth with like the merchandising proofs on that. So it's taking its process right now because it's a little slow, and I think they're really slammed because they do work with internationally to China, but at least the airmail will not be that bad because it's airmail and that's not the stuff being held up. It's stuff actually being physically shipped. So these would be enamel pins, charms, and things like that. And some of it, they make it in-house too. So you're welcome to pre-order those. And I'll basically put you on the waiting list, and I'll personally deface the books for you guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody definitely go check her out. She has an amazing array of things, books, like she said, enamel pins, things like that. So please go check out her work. Danny, where can we find you in all your social media stuff?
If you're looking for me, just search for The Ace Blade on social media and our website, fourthwallpros.com. What about you, Kyron? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Taurus Comics. My website is tauruscomics.com. So please check out my books there. If this is your first time checking out our podcast, the Four Tales Podcast, please go back to our website, fourtalespodcast.com, and check out all our previous episodes. That is the number 4, TALES.podcast.com. But again, thank you, Chrissy, for being on. I don't know who our next guest is at this moment, but I will update that in our show notes. But until then, sayonara, goodbye, and everybody, please take care of yourselves.
Check out Asian Invasion today if you're in LA.
There you go.
Music provided by my brother, Quix Made It. Find him online in YouTube, Instagram, and SoundCloud.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.